This is the part 2 version of Guide 7, the tutorial movie. Let's get right into it. I believe the last time we talked I didn't have the other groups in. I have them all in now. I have the top right group right there in the same method that we did before, where I actually had brought in and made into the compound path the three shapes here. So I selected them and made them into the compound path, and then I brought in the picture, put it below the compound path, and then shift clicked both and made them into a Command 7 clipping mask. Well, the next one was to bring in, and let me turn off the bottom picture. You were to bring in, if you go to page 6, number 21, you're to bring in the bottom right one, and that consists of two pictures, two shapes, and I'll select it. And if you can see my layer palette, I've put everything into the right stacking order. The bottom right one had two shapes, the above one and the below one, as you can see. I then had the image, which I've now selected on, and I made the two shapes into a compound path. I put the picture below, and then I made them into a Command 7 clipping mask. Now, what you have to do is realize one thing. When I positioned the picture, it says, and it's the only one so far in the pictures, in the images, that I want you to use the lower right proxy of the transform and hit 16.75. If you look up here, 16.75 and 0.25 as the X and Y values. Okay, and let's go put in the picture now. I wanted you to bring in this was size to 75%. So when you bring in the picture, it is the feathered picture. It's the GTS blue over, what did I call that? The GTS blue overhead feather. And I wanted you to actually bring it in and then also place it at 16.75 on X and 0.25 on Y, and then you have them in. Now, I'm going to lock up all of the shapes that we had. Remember, no stroke gets on any of them, and I'm going to go to number 23 with the spread add with all the layers, with all the layer visibility on, except guides should appear like this as that one does to the right. So let me go back like this and turn on all the visibility, just like you can see on 22. Actually, the guides were off, so I'll just turn them off. And you have exactly what 23 was. Now we are going to proceed to the body text layer. We will need to complete the body text to the lower left first, or to the left first. The first image shows the text in the finished state. Please note that the T has been made into a drop cap. Number 24, the image to the right shows the closed path. I made it into a heavy stroke. I just want you to do it into a stroke. So what I want to do is to make a new layer, name it body text, lock all other layers. So I will show this, and I will get close to the bottom over here. And let's make a new layer and name it body text. So I'll double click it. Now, for the sake of making you see this well on screen, I'm going to go to dark blue just so we see it very, very well when something is selected. Keep the visibility on for the shapes and graphics. I can toggle the visibility. Now look at how I've drawn it in the PDF file. It's exactly how I want you to draw it. Let me go back on this a little bit. It's exactly how I want you to draw it in here. So we get to this part, we go here, let's get the Z key on this one, Brian, and make it bigger. I want you to draw it like this at first, and then we're going to paste the text in there second. So what I need to do is I'm going to pre-do this on mine. I want to highlight from the body text. It says to, if you look at 25, it says to highlight on the body text, highlight and copy the cover text except the first T. So let's go over to the pasted text over here, and let's go to the cover text. Now I'm going to not get that as large as I want to on screen because it's so heavy. I'll hit the tab key so I can go over there and do it. But before I hit the tab key, I'm going to unlock the pasted text and click to it. Then I'm going to hit the tab key, hit the T key, and then accept or omitting the T. Let's get the entire body text to the period, not an extra space on the period, just the period. So from the H to the period, Command C. Let's now click away from it. Don't hit the tab key to tab yourself back on, or you'll just add a tab to that line. So let's go like this. which is to magnify the screen. Let's go back into our position, a little bit bigger, Brian. Okay, and then I'm going to actually get a little bit bigger down here so I can see that whole thing on screen. Lock up body text, click to paste the text. So I have already copied it. Back up to 24. Create the closed path using your guides and shapes. You can leave it as a 1-point stroke for now. So I'll remove the fill and I'll add the stroke of black at 1 point. Let's go here and now hit the P key, and you can see exactly on the PDF that I want you to make it exactly along the guide here, along the guide here, along the guide here, and just as close as you can get along that part of it. So let's go back, take the P key, click on your page, and now hit the P key, Brian, and let's go click, hold the Shift key here, hold the Shift key here, hold the Shift key here. Now let's go pull out the Option click for the first handlebar, and then hold the Option key for the second handlebar, and now grab the direct selection tool and just line this up real nice like this. Now you have your stroke. I'll turn off the guides so you can see this very nicely going in there, and we have it just about perfect. Now it says to use the area type tool. Now let me tell you something about the text tool. It's a smart tool. If you have something selected and you want to click and put path text on it on the stroke, it knows it by you just putting the cursor over the stroke. But if you click inside the box, it knows you actually want the text to flow inside the box. So yes, I could have gone to the area type tool right over here. No, I didn't have to, if that makes any sense to you. Let's click right there and let's hit Command V, and now we have the text going right in. Let's switch to page 8 and number 26. It should appear like this. So Brian's going to bring up the character palette so we can see it. Actually, let me put that back in here just so I look like I know what I'm doing, and let's go like that. Now, character settings is Arial regular at 14 points. So I'm going to click it with the direct selection tool so all of it is underlined. Let's just go to Arial and return key, and now I'm going to choose the correct Arial because it went to Arial condensed. Let's just go to Arial regular, and in Arial regular at 14 points the leading is 40. So let's go into the leading, which is the space between the lines, and put it at 40. Now I tell you here tracking to 50, so let's put the tracking in to 50. Now I want you to set the baseline shift to -19. So let's go baseline shift, which is the, if you can't see the baseline shift in your character palette because it looks like that, double click it once, double click it twice, and then you have the baseline shift down there. And -18 or 19, it doesn't matter. And that'll now shoot it down exactly like you see it. Now with it selected, let's go to the paragraph settings. So I'll bring the paragraph palette right over here. I'll double click it once, I'll double click it twice so you can see everything. And it's left align and right align. So find the element over here, which is left align. It goes to 65 points. Now let's go to right align, which is this one over here, and it's 30 points. And now we should have this thing fitting pretty well. Now if it doesn't fit, we're going to have to make it into something. I see that obviously mine totally doesn't fit. Let's make sure that this big and brutal. I think I hit the return key and I shouldn't have. I have something that is forcing my top. I have something over here that is for, look at, see how I can't select that right over here? So obviously there is something inside of this which is forcing this down. And I'm going to show you exactly the perfect thing here. If you remember back on guide number 3, the reason why this can't go up to this line, do you see this top line, how this point is actually down just a tiny bit? There isn't a return or a space or a tab or something prohibiting that. My path is incorrect. So I'm going to make sure that my Illustrator preferences for units, for general, are constraining to 0.001 inches, not points. And I'm going to move up that point 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's keep on going until that point actually goes up high enough until I actually get the 0 to 60 exactly flowing the way that I want. Now, I'm going to play a little game in order to get this thing to flow right. Nothing is perfect. And let me go down over to this side. I want this text to read 0 to 60. Do you see where I'm circling right there, even though it's kind of bad on screen? I want it to be 0 to 60 and then the word delicate and apply down here. So let's play with this, but let's play with the points. Let's not allow this to dictate what it wants for us. I'm going to move by having those 2 points selected. I'm going to move them to the right, to the left, I'm sorry. And as much as I move them to the left, actually they're not moving exactly enough, so it's probably my preferences that need to get set just a little bit different here. I have 0.01. Let's just go one more like this, just so I have 0.01, and now I can get them to move a little faster. Okay, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Here we go. It's switching. There we go. All I had to do was to move those 2 points. These 2 are the only ones selected. I shifted them over to the left until the line got correct. Don't move the words, move or change or alter or edit the box. Command S to save the file. Now, let's go on to the next one. Let's go back till this whole thing fits on the screen. I'll throw my paragraph palette over there, and then let's go down like this. Now, so far, so good. Now, let's go to 27. The image indicate to the right indicates, and let me show you what I'm talking about. On 27, let's go to the next one. Let's go down a little bit on the screen, and now we're going to go do this one. Sorry. We're going to go do this one. So let's go do the next one here. Okay, we now have everything fitting exactly the way it wants. So you saw me do some custom fitting here. It's important for you to know that not everything is perfect, okay? And then that you need to custom fit things by moving the points around. And it's important on that upper right hand point that you knew that it was the point forcing the text down, not any secret text hidden character or space or whatever. Now you see how I want you to draw the box on this side. And then this wants me to copy all of the text and make sure I get all of the text. So I'll do the same thing, maybe not in the same order the handout is, but I'm going to make the shape. First I'm going to get the text. So let's go down in size on this and marquee this over here just like that. Let's unlock the pasted text and click to it and hit the T key. Let's get reliability all the way down to the 4 wheels. Command C. Now, let's lock up the pasted text. Let's get back to our image over here, and let me get close to this side. I'll turn on the guides, so if I need to use them, even though they're very faint on screen, I could change the color of the guides to something, maybe I will, just so you guys can see the guides a little bit better. I think I will. I'll go grab this and I'll make them a bright red. So let's go to a oh gosh, I would never choose green. I want to go to a bright red on the guides. Let's go over here. Okay, I should have done that in the first place, and now I have the red guides, which you all can see a lot easier, and I'm going to hit Command S to save the file. Okay, I'm reading, it says, okay, create the shape. Same thing, just the same thing that we did with the other text. So let's create the shape from the guide, around the top, around the path, down and over. I don't care how many points you use to create it with, just the least number of points possible. I think it needs only 2 besides the top and bottom one. So let's take the pen tool. Hopefully that I'm clicking on the body text layer. It's the only thing not selected. Let's hit the tab key so I can get this thing the biggest on screen, and let's start drawing. So I hit the P key for pen. I'll click this and I'll start over here and I'll hold the shift key. And now that's not exactly up there all the way on the top, but that's okay. I'll hold this like here. Let's go right to, that's a little bit too far, Brian. Come on. Okay, that's good. Let's go right down to where the eclipse is here, or the pinnacle of that curve. I'll have to edit that. Whoops, let's take away the tab key on. I forgot, no fill. Let's just make it a stroke. Tab key off. Okay, sorry about that. And let's custom do this as we go. Okay, that's pretty. Let's go down here and hold this right in the flat part of the curve and pull up. Now let's go down here and pull this way. Okay, now let's hold the Option key and click away. Actually, just click away. I was thinking Photoshop. Go over here to hit the shift click right over here and then back up to the home key where the circle appears, and now I have my box. So let's go turn off, hit the tab key, turn off the guides layer so you can see my box is very nice. And now all I have to do is go to edit, paste the text, and it'll show up. If you turn the page to page 9, that's how it'll show up perfectly. So let me hit the text tool, click in the box, and hit Command V to paste, and now there is your text pasted in perfectly the way that I want. Now you have to actually format the text. So let me hit Command S to save the file, and let's go over here and see. The pasted text will appear as below. Use the character and paragraph settings. Place the text cursor to the left of the R in the first title and hit return until the first title is just below the 10 guides. So let's go show the guides. Let's click just here and hit the return key until that goes down just below right there. Now, character settings. Let's click the whole thing and let's adjust all of the text at first. Let's see if I can get this right the first time. It comes in Arial regular, which it's already set at Arial regular, at 12 points. So let's go over to here and go to 12 points. Okay, Arial, you know what? I needed to click away to click back because the box was selected. So let's go to Arial regular again. Okay, cool. And now let's go to 12 points. Leading is 18, so let's double click that and go to 18. And let's go to tracking of 30. Okay, cool. All right, that's the way that I want it there. Paragraph settings. Let's move the paragraph back over with it still selected. Left align is 50 and right align is 20. So let's go left align at 50, tabbing to right align at 20, and hit the return key. And now that should be set pretty close to what we need. Let's go to our guide here, and let's go here, and let's see. There is how we want it set. And now we have to actually adjust. If you look at number 30, we have to adjust it. Font Arial bold italic at 14, tracking of 500. So we have to highlight this in the traditional sense. Again, Arial bold italic at 14 and tracking 500. So let's go like this. Let's now look at this from the point of view of, first I should click it, and let's go look at this from the very first one. Let's take the text tool, let's go like this and marquee the text all the way over here. Arial bold italic, see if I can actually remember it, with a tracking of 500. Now I should make a character style here, but it's okay. It's not. There's not a lot going on here. So I'll double click this one. Let's go to Arial bold italic. Again, this is pretty silly to do it. I should have made a paragraph and a character style for this, but that's okay. 500. If you bear with me, I can probably tell jokes as I'm doing this. Let's double click this, and let's go again to here. Okay, we're almost got it done. I realize this is very boring. And now one more. I triple clicked in there. Let's go to Arial bold italic and tracking at 500. And down here we have 2 more to go. Triple click, and again I'm trying to go as fast as I can. I should have probably had this done on screen, but that's all right. It's only 1 more to go. And then I want to see what this gives me. Whoops, I triple clicked too many times. Whoops, I did it again. I only want to get the actual to the end of the word. I don't want to get anything more past that. I guess for this case it really doesn't matter. Let's now read what you need to have. Whoops, I needed to let's put this in here at 500. Okay, summary. And on 4 wheels should go exactly where it is going. I do see that my other one, this went down too far, so I think I hit the return key. I'm going to put the return key here and delete out 1 return. Now it's perfect. You see the bottom is perfect. Actually, I wanted the word 4 wheels. I wanted the 4 to go to this line. The proper way to do this would be to click that one point, have every other point opened. Watch me just slide this one to this side here. Now did you see how by just moving this text box a teeny weeny bit over, let me get closer on that. Do you see how by moving this just a teeny weeny bit over, the 4 went on the proper line? Because I don't want that to shift at all. And I'm not going to be so stringent. Ron would hurt me for this widow that I have right over here. So what I should do is put the word low quality on the next line, or the word quality. But I'm going to go ahead and just leave it there. And Ron, I meant Ron Hood. Let's go now and see what we need to do. The drop cap is next. So what it wants us to do is to create the drop cap. It's the last object to create. So I'll go close this, click a new layer, name it drop cap, and then you are going to make sure your layer stacking order is correct. Now as fast as I possibly can, I'm going to make a drop cap. Click the type tool. Okay, we're going to turn off all the visibility on all the layers. I'm going to take the text tool, leave the drop cap on, of course, have everything else locked up, Command S to save the file, take the text tool and click right there and just type a capital letter T. Now let's get close to that capital letter T. Let's make sure that we select it with the direct selection tool so it's underlined, and it says the drop cap is the laptop. We create a new object, type a letter T, make it font, impact at 72 points. So let's go to impact and let's make it 72 points. Whoops, I did it again now, didn't I? I could just go to here because that's 72 on the bottom. Now, with that selected exactly like it is, let's go to Type and Create Outlines, which is Shift-Command-O. Now it's no longer, I'm going to take away that from being gray because you can't see it. Put it at red, so now you can see it. Let's get closer to that. And now let's just marquee that a little bit better to get it on screen. Okay. Now, this is what it says. Make the fill and strength make the fill and the as I have in my handout guide, which means to go in this, let's go here, I want you to change the black to the stroke 1 point Viper Dark, redirect the fill just like I have here. So the fill is going from the Viper Dark to just a black to a white. All right, that's all I want you to do. Now let's go down in size here, and then whoops, I keep on doing that, don't I? Let's go like this and leave this somewhat bigger on screen and minimize it. So stroke is Viper Dark. So let's go take our direct select tool and click fill to nothing, stroke to Viper Dark at 1 point. Now let's take the fill and let's click any fill that we want, and we make sure the fill G key is directed exactly the way the handout is, from up to down or down to up, it doesn't matter. And actually I'm going to go the other way with this. And now let's bring the gradient palette over. You've all made chrome lettering before, so let's smack this in the center just like this. I'm going to put let me see if I actually tell you here. I actually believe I put Viper Dark on the top of this, which is fine, that's cool, and then Viper Light on the bottom of this. So let's go to Viper Light right down here, and now I have a really cool looking pretty Viper Light. Let me hit the G key and make this go a little bit up higher like that. A little bit, how about a little bit up higher and a little wider? So I'm going to stretch it out a little bit farther. Let's go a little bit farther with it. Whoops, let's go down a little bit more. I'm not going to play this game too much. Whoops, I'm going the wrong way. Okay, fine, right there, perfect. Now, it wants you to make an inside. Let me go to the drop cap. So far we have one group, which is just the compound path. Now, all we have to do is leave it selected. As you guys know, to make an offset path, make sure you're in inches on offset path. So we're going to make a light stroke Viper Light for the offset path. So let's go to Object, Path, Offset Path, and let's have it be negative 0.026. Now that I have the inside stroke, let's take the fill to nothing. Don't have a fill on there because you don't need it. The fill is behind it to a Viper Light stroke. Now with both of those things the way that I have, let's go back and make a a shadow underneath. And all we have to do to make the shadow underneath is to go back to our very first shape and duplicate it. So I'm going to pull Command Option and pull off a copy of that shape, remove the stroke, add the fill of black, and then hit the E key so I can just grab it in the middle and put it underneath the whole thing. Now, obviously that has to get sent to the back of the stacking order. Would you look in my layer palette? Just grab it and move it to the bottom of the stacking order. Now, it's already a group. If yours isn't a group, I want you to group it, meaning grab all three pieces and hit Command G. But if you do that, it'll probably tell you, hey, it'll say, wait a minute, I'm already a group. So that's fine. That's cool. Command S to save the file. Now, all we have to do is put it into the right place. In my page 10, it says 3.4 by 5.55. If that doesn't work, let me click the regular selection tool. Let's go to the regular selection tool, the upper right proxy, and show all of the layers. Let me move the gradient palette over. Let's put all the layers in the right place and show all the layers. Let's put that upper left. Did I say right? I know. Oh, my right from my left. Let's go upper left proxy, and it's 3.4 tabbing to 5.55. Now, that should place it exactly on that guide. Now, if it doesn't, it's okay. Just shift it down just a little bit to move it down in position. It's probably because I moved my shadow farther over than my last one was, okay? So I would like that top of that T. Yours is going to be probably a little bit different, but I don't mind where it is on the X ruler, but move the Y value down until the top of it is right on that guide. And that should be your final file. Command S to save the file. We have bleed off the top for that upper work. Let me hit the tab key. You can see we have bleed off the top. Let me hit F7 because really the layer palette is what I want you to finally make your stacking order the correct stacking order. So let's go without me taking 1,000 years here. Let's go see the proper stacking order, and here is the final stacking order. Headline, subhead, drop cap. Pasted text, body text, guides, shapes and graphics, and main photos. So please make yours say the exact same thing that mine does. So let me, actually I should just take a screenshot of that because I don't have any memory. Headline, subhead, drop cap. Let's click back here. Headline, subhead, drop cap. So now I have it in exactly the right order. I'll see the rest of them. Pasted text, body text, guides. So let's go pasted text, body text, guides, and then shapes and graphics and main photos. I think I can remember that. And main photo should be on the bottom. So I have exactly the layer order that you should have. Lock up everything, Command S to save the file, and you should be pretty much done. I will warn you, read everything here. That's all I will say. Read everything, double check everything, and have a good day. Take care.